Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Spirit of Justice. We have finally gotten ratings to the stand, or at least he kind of just walked up and decided to testify himself. So hey, that kind of saves us the job of trying to deal with this asshole. So let's get started. Footage is meant to be edited, I tell you. Scenes are spliced together and long or boring scenes are cut out. Boring? How are cart stuff boring? All the stations edit footage this way. It wasn't like it was done maliciously or anything. Just a coincidence that particular scene was cut. It wasn't intentional. Sure it wasn't. Or what? You got some proof that I had an ulterior motive for editing that footage? I see. So you're saying it was a coincidence the sword swapping scene was cut? That's right. Glad you got the picture. Coincidence? That's just a little too convenient if you ask me. Oh, an objection! How cool! Sure packs a lot more punch when you hear it live. Do that again. I want to get another shot from a different angle. Cameras aren't allowed in courtrooms, right? My objection is not for your entertainment. And cut. There, I got some good stuff there. Mr. Ratings, filming is prohibited inside the courthouse. Whoops, my bad, Judge. And if the defense has an issue, it can point it out during its cross-examination. Which we're gonna do right now, this jerk. We're gonna have to skip a statement or else we're gonna continue it that way, so... Whoops. Not that one. Really? I've never heard anybody say that. It's common knowledge in the TV world. You got any idea what a snooze cruise it'd be to watch a magic show without editing? A magic show like that one? A magic show like that one, anyway. That was ice cold. Anyway, editing is what makes TV worth watching. You say you thought there were boring scenes in Miss Wright's magic show? You gotta ask. That script and presentation deserve a place on the cutting room floor. Broadcasting that mess as is would have been a complete disaster. That's why I had to edit the footage. It's just what a TV man does. What didn't you like about the show exactly? All of it? The whole thing? It was a major snooze fest. Maybe common folk like you don't get it. But a show's only as good as how loud, flashy, and trashy it is. It was plenty loud and flashy on its own. All you did was add the trash. I suppose each industry has its own way of doing things. Just as we in the legal profession focus exclusively on evidence and testimony. Exactly. Whether it's showbiz or the legal biz, we do what we gotta do to get the job done. Anyway, editing footage is just a matter of course in the TV industry. It wasn't done maliciously, huh? But I get the distinct impression that you bear feelings of ill will towards Troop Grimari. Huh? What makes you think that? The things that you yourself have said. You'll see. I'll dig up the dirt and expose the dark heart behind that sweet smile. I'll prove those Grimari magicians are all a bunch of lowlifes. And I also get the impression that you felt this way for a long time. Words such as those can be interpreted in many different ways. For example, though I bear the defense no ill will, I would not hesitate to say that he is a good-for-nothing lout of a lawyer. You bear me no ill will? Could have fooled me. And yet it is the truth. I am only strict on you as it seems you have strayed from the path. Oh, shush, Nayuta. If you have any objections, Mr. Justice, please make your case with evidence in the future. Mr. Ratings, please continue your testimony. I think we're skipping over this one. Yes, we are. Alright. What other scenes did you cut from the footage? Huh? Oh, no others, I guess. You mean you only edited out those sword-switching trick scene and nothing else? Don't you think it's too much of a stretch to claim that it was that as mere coincidence? No matter how artificial you find the affair, stranger things have happened on their own. That is, unless you have something with which to prove otherwise, Defense. Well, if you have a valid criticism of Mr. Ratings' testimony, feel free to counter it with evidence. Well, Apollo? Yeah, I would sure make things easier if we had some. I think the defense team needs to be edited out of this trial. That's what they need. I'll have to clean up this footage later. He isn't really gonna put this on TV, is he? Trying to prove malicious intent is tough. All he has to do is say it was all a coincidence. We'll need to find some kind of foothold if we want to make any progress. True, but this guy doesn't seem like the type to slip up. So we'll just have to get the information out of him bit by bit. Alright, now we're gonna go back to pressing that fourth statement that we skipped over. Of all the scenes you could have cut, why the sword switching trick? That seems like too much of a coincidence to me. Oh, so now you're gonna tell me how I'm supposed to edit my programs, Big Shot? It's hard being the boss, kid. You gotta make the tough choices, like which content gets cut. Then let me ask you this, why exactly did you make such a tough choice in this case? You wouldn't understand, champ. It's all about artistic vision. I'll tell you, people tell you how to do your job when they don't know the first thing about it. I may not know TV, but I know evidence law, and boy do I have some for you, champ. I might not be able to show that your selective editing was intentional. However, I know you bear the defendant ill will, and this is the evidence that proves it. Where is it? There it is. Huh? What's that you got there? The music didn't stop, but I didn't get a penalty, so I guess I'm okay. This is a contract you had Miss Wright sign just before the magic show. This contract between the first party, Take-Two TV, and the second party, Miss Wright, reads: if, through the fault of the second party, the show must be canceled in part or in full, the second party will pay $3 million as compensation to the first party. $3 million? That's a completely unreasonable sum. I couldn't agree more, and of course Miss Wright doesn't have that kind of money. Nevertheless, Roger Ratings had her sign this unreasonable contract anyway. Or more accurately, he conned her into signing it. Conned her? How did he do that? There's a trick to the clipboard that was used by Miss Wright to sign her contract. It houses carbon paper that can secretly copy her signature onto other documents. Oh, come on now. That's quite a nasty accusation you're slinging my way. For starters, you don't have any proof I had anything to do with that carbon paper stuff. Just because Trucy and her agency can't pay up, that doesn't mean I conned her. But $3 million? That's totally out of reach for the average person. In any case, this is important new information. Please add it to your testimony, Mr. Ratings. Where's your proof linking me to that tricked out clipboard? You don't have any, do you? Maybe I do, but let's press first. This clipboard is yours though, isn't it, Mr. Ratings? Well, it belongs to the TV station anyway, that much I know. Maybe it was an old prop from one of our TV shows that got used by mistake. Or maybe you used it on purpose, to con Miss Wright. Mr. Ratings has already stated that he did not. Mr. Justice, please do not use this trial to try to get out of paying your agency's debt. That's not what I'm doing! Huh. Proof Mr. Ratings is connected to the carbon paper, huh? If Trucy's signature was copied onto the fake contract, then there must be an original contract that Trucy actually did sign. True, but I bet Ratings is too savvy to leave something like that behind as evidence. But what if her signature was copied onto more than just a fake contract? Like a third document with Trucy's signature on it. Have we seen anything like that, though? Hey, what are you guys whispering about? Let me continue my testimony. Pfft, fuck no. we're gonna go present on that new statement you gave us. Where's that one note that we got from the bunnies? The twins.
Objection!
Trucy's note, let's get it. You must be quite the con man if you can fool a magician with a simple trick. But if you think you can con a lawyer, you're very much mistaken. Hey kid, would it kill you to enunciate in front of the camera? You know, like a newscaster. I'd like you to take a look at Miss Wright's signature here on this note. Now let's compare that signature to the one here on this contract. Well, would you look at that? They're exactly the same. That's right, Your Honor. Not just similar, but exactly the same. Nobody can sign their name in exactly the same way twice, unless it's a copy. His thing! These signatures are proof positive that you conned Miss Wright. And they definitely prove your malicious intent. Say, not bad, lawyer guy. Didn't know you had it in you. This is really getting interesting now. It'll get great ratings for sure. Don't try to dodge the issue, Mr. Ratings. The fact is that you bear ill will against my client. So the show footage was definitely edited for malicious intentions. Isn't that right? What a forced argument, defense. All you have really proven is not his ill will towards Miss Wright, but his pecuniary greed. That's right, I just wanted money, baby. Fat stacks of cheddar, that's all. After all, I've never even crossed paths with Trucy before this magic show. So I have absolutely no reason to bear her any ill will, right? He didn't bear her any ill will, huh? Fat chance. This guy definitely has some major hate for Trucy. You'll see. I'll dig up the dirt and expose the dark heart behind that sweet smile. I'll prove that those Grimari magicians are all a bunch of lowlifes. I can't prove it with anything, but the things he said all point to that fact. There must be something between the two of them that gave birth to this grudge. Some sort of connection that not even Trucy is aware of. Your Honor, I'd like to argue that Roger Ratings and Trucy Wright must have crossed paths before. There must be some hidden connection between them. Hidden? Connection? A rainbow connection. What is it now? Just what are you getting at, Mr. Justice? It is futile to even ask, Your Honor. Surely it is just another one of the defense's reckless claims. You don't seem to have a very high opinion of me, but once you hear my argument, you'll wish you'd taken me a whole lot more seriously. Will I really? Very well then, do proceed. Did you figure something out, Apollo? Nope, not a thing. What? That was just some good old-fashioned bluffing, courtesy of Mr. Wright's fine training. I hope you know what you're doing. If you're going to make such a bold claim, Mr. Justice, I hope you're ready to elaborate. What is this hidden connection between the defendant and Roger Ratings? I'm gonna say because I'm gonna pick all the other options first because they're pretty funny. Especially the dating one. Roger Ratings is Miss Wright's biggest fan. That's right, huge fan of hers. So naturally, I don't bear any ill will or malicious whatsoever. Malice, excuse me. Alright, I set myself up for that one. Can we edit that scene out? No, this is the public court, and I'm not Judge Wagner. I know, because his penalties would hurt less. Now, why don't you try again, Mr. Justice? What is this hidden connection between the defendant and Roger Ratings? They're dating. I don't even like to imagine this, but could it be possible the two of them are dating? If Mr. Ratings and Miss Wright were in a relationship. Oh, that's good, yes. Viewers love a secret romance edition. Yeah, Yes, Trucy and I love each other so much. She's gonna introduce me to her father sometime real soon. Trucy would never fall for a guy like you. Not in a million years. Mr. Justice, are you aware that you're objecting to your own argument? I'm sorry, Your Honor, but when I saw Mr. Rainey's antics, I just had to speak out. Personally, I can't say that I blame you for wanting to do that. But you're the one who came up with such a disturbing idea in the first place. Blame Capcom for giving us the option in the first place. What was I even thinking? All I ended up doing is grossing everyone out. Now, why don't you try again, Mr. Justice? What is this hidden connection between the defendant and Roger Ratings? Ratings is a magician too. Have we all figured out who he is, though? That sleight of hand trick Mr. Ratings did during this recess earlier. Filming is prohibited inside the courthouse. Do you want me to go get the bailiff? That's right behind us. Huh? Filming? What are you talking about? I don't even have a camera on me. What if Mr. Ratings is a magician too? What if? I believe it's up to the defense to fill in the blanks, not me. Well, if he is, he may have had some contact with Ms. Wright somewhere along the way. Your argument is hardly worth responding to. But by all means, please do continue. As a passage in the sacred scriptures of Koreanism states, he who gives a sermon to a monkey is himself a monkey. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you say to a dimwit, he isn't gonna get it anyway. But we saw Mr. Ratings perform a magic trick. He made his video camera disappear in the blink of an eye. Well, I think it would be pretty funny if I were a magician. You must have been seeing things. Want me to introduce you to a good eye doctor? If a connection as tenacious as that is all it takes, then every magician in the country could potentially bear ill will towards the accused. I guess you're right. You're not the sharpest knife in the drawer, are you? Are you, short stuff? You would do well to cleanse that putrid mind of yours in the holy waters of Mount Pony Pony. 3 days under a frigid waterfall, and even you should rise to the level of a monkey. A numbskull for a numbskull. Ugh, well, this numbskull has thick skin, so there. I think I get what they're driving at. Even if he is a magician, it's not exactly a reason to bear a grudge against Trucy, is it? Not unless it's a certain magician. Hold on, I can think of one person. One magician who has a reason to bear a grudge against Trucy. Or rather, one magician who has a reason to bear a grudge against Truth Grammari. Oh? That means he's not dead, though. No way! Is something wrong, Mr. Justice? Your Honor, the defense wishes to submit evidence at this time. I see, and what sort of evidence do you have for us? Evidence that points to the real killer, the one who had a motive to commit this crime. What? And what have you come up with this time, defense? Trucy Wright is the sole heir to the Truth Grammari and its name. This puts her square in the crosshairs of one particular magician. And this piece of evidence points to that one person with a grudge against Miss Wright. And who exactly are you naming, Mr. Justice? We're presenting the poster. 13 years ago, the great Mr. Reyes belonged to Truth Grammari. But then the troupe ousted him, and Mr. Reyes vowed to get revenge on them someday. And what better way to accomplish that than through the ruination of their sole heir? But Mr. Reyes is the victim, Mr. Justice. You've named a dead man as your suspect. But is he really dead? What do you mean, is he really dead? If the fact that Mr. Reyes is the victim is what's throwing you off, then how about we consider this possibility? What if the man who died on that stage yesterday wasn't Mr. Reyes? You mean the victim was an imposter? There's a way to prove it, too. Not Mr. Rios? Then what about the real Mr. Rios? It would mean the real Mr. Rios is still alive. That's absurd. Is it absurd? Is it really? Mr. Justice, who is the real Mr. Rios if not the victim of this case? It's all coming together now. I finally see the gimmick, the trick to this entire case. This should explain everything, Your Honor. The real killer, the one who hated Troop Grammari and wanted to sully its name. The magician lurking in the shadows who set up a fake Mr. Rios in his stead. The real Mr. Rios is Roger Ratings. But that's... Yes it is. Roger Ratings is the real Mr. Rios. What? Him? O hollow red pepper, your impotent seeds sprout naught but meaningless, empty words. You can't possibly prove to support such an outlandish theory. It's not a bad idea for a soap opera, but not even die-hard fans of the genre would stick around past the pilot. You want proof? Well, I've got proof. I can prove it by proving that Mr. Rios in yesterday's magic show was a fake. And to do that, I just need you to look at this spot on this poster. The scar. You notice that he didn't have a scar. Our Rios from yesterday. This is the injury Mr. Rios sustained while practicing the magic trick 13 years ago. However, the video the victim shot of himself shows no trace of that injury. Oh my, you're absolutely right! Now, Mr. Ratings, what do you suppose we'd find if we took a look at your right forearm? Is there by chance a nasty 13-year-old scar under that sleeve of yours? He got you there, buddy! Well, Mr. Ratings, why don't you roll up your sleeve and let the court have a look? Or are you hiding something else up there? Come on now, I have nothing up my sleeve. I don't need to hide anything up there, because I require no tricks or gimmicks. For you see, my magic is the real deal. Is this what you were hoping to see? Oh! There it is! The scar! And the age actually matches too. Just as I thought. That's right. I'm the forgotten magician, abandoned to the dark understage of history. The great Mr. Rios. Oh god, I love his theme though. He may be a huge asshole, but I love his theme. This is totally absurd. Ho ho ho! How ironic, wouldn't you say? That this odious mark, carved into me by Troop Grammari, would bring me back into the limelight once more. Strange are the karmic threads before me. If the witness is the real Mr. Rios, then who is the victim who perished in the magic show? He was but a fan. I met him on one of my programs several years ago. He said he had become a magician out of admiration for the great Mr. Rios. In confidence, I told him my true identity and let him take on my mantle. And when did this man take over for you? About 2 years ago. I taught him my tricks and even acted as his producer. And so, a mere amateur became a popular magician overnight. Courtesy of my magic, on the stage we call television. Hope you enjoyed the show. You really had us all fooled! Mr. Ratings, or should I say, Mr. Rias. In your hatred of True Grammar, you killed the victim, Mr. Mystery. And then set up Miss Wright to take the fall, didn't you? You did it all just to tarnish the Grammari name. Oh ho ho, I have no idea what you're talking about, lad. I set up the prank, that much is true, but it was simply a harmless joke on Trucy, I assure you. Yet she learned of the plan and made use of it to commit murder. That is how strongly the criminal elements run in the blood of these Grammaris. But if it was a secret prank plan that very few people knew about, couldn't you have been the one to use it for murder instead? Gah! Yikes! Woo! Oh! Don't know what Athena said. Ha, just kidding. What the heck was that? Heed my words, lawyer lad, for I fear your grasp of reality is slipping. I do believe I told you that my magic is real. It employs neither tricks nor gimmicks. Enough with the ambiguity. Why don't you make your point already? My alibi is as pristine as ever. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Samahi? Yes, I suppose that is correct. The witness does have a solid alibi. What? That's right, he was at the studio. Recall, defense, that at the time of the magic show, Mr. Ratings was at Take-Two TV. A fact that many people can easily attest to. That's right, I forgot all about that. Ha ha ha. So what do you think, Your Honor? Would you like me to testify on the matter? Yes, I think you better. Please tell the court more about your alibi. Very well then, on with the show. Are you watching, Magnifique Grammari? The time has finally come for my magic to snuff out your precious pedigree. The Grammari line will be no more. Jesus Christ. I think I have time to go through this. Let's do it. My perfect alibi. I was at the TV station at the time of the Penrose performance. I was busy working on another TV program. I could spare no time for the magic show. Do ask my staff if you doubt my claim. And there it is, a simple and perfect alibi. No tricks, no gimmicks, just the truth. Do you understand now, perhaps? I did not grace the theater with my presence until after the incident. So how could I have committed the murder? Ugh, his staff did say he was there at the station, so it sure does sound like a rock-solid alibi. But that can't be right. If Mr. Ratings is the killer, he'd have to have been at the theater. There's gotta be a hole somewhere in this story. I assure you there are no holes on Mr. Rias' stage. Only fire. No tricks, no gimmicks. True magic doesn't need trapdoors to escape through. Do enjoy my show to the fullest. And my real alibi. Can I get through this cross-examination and then just stop it there? Maybe. Let's try it. I know I'm running low on time here, so. But you did come to the theater eventually, isn't that right? Indeed. Anxious to see how the show was progressing, I made my way to the theater. Let's see. My journey took about 10 minutes by car. Could he actually have been at the theater during those 10 minutes, killing the victim? Ho ho ho, allow me a stab at reading your mind. Aha! Could I have been at the theater during those 10 minutes, killing the victim? How in the... But no, I took a taxi. The driver can attest to that. Feel free to call the taxi company if my word does not satisfy you. The driver is a big fan of the Ratings Raja. I even gave him my card. He gave the driver his card? That was very clever of him. You might as well give it up, lad. Questioning real magic is a fool's errand. Besides, you know very well what I was doing at the time of the incident. What was this other TV show you were working on? My own special project, you see. One moment. Perhaps this is more appropriate. It's a Ratings Raja special production. Yeah, hang loose, baby. It's called Desperation Renegation. Regeneration. You switched personas just to say that? What's the show about? Washed up, has-been singers and comedians get together and play musical chairs. The winner of the game is given a second chance at their career. A priceless prize for chumps who washed up too early in life. Sounds great, right? Might I suggest you appear on that show, Mr. Justice? As the ex-lawyer who used to make ridiculous bluffs in court and faded sadly into obscurity. And let the Ratings Raja produce my TV debut? Not in this lifetime. You have great reactions. Who knows? TV might be your true calling. Hey, whose side are you on? In any case, I was overseeing production on this program during the Penrose performance. How do we know those staff members aren't in cahoots with you? I make it my business to perform solo. My magic has neither need nor want of assistance. After all, one of them could reveal the secrets behind my magic, could they not? So he doesn't trust anybody, huh? He's the complete opposite of Trucy. There were many people there in the studio audience who saw the witness as well. Even if he had been able to persuade his own staff to cover for him, he could not have convinced so many complete strangers to do the same. He really has made a rock-solid alibi for himself. Yeah, it's almost too good, you know? It's eerie how perfect it is. Has it all been revealed to you now? I've got it! Do you have a brother? A brother that looks exactly like you, maybe. Again with the twin business? You think the audience will let you get away with using the same gimmick twice in a row? If you do not believe him, Defense, why not investigate for yourself? Though I am sure your efforts will prove to be thoroughly fruitless. Yeah, I guess the twins theory is a little far-fetched. Ugh, his alibi really is airtight. I believe we've heard enough. While I believe the witness does indeed harbor some ill will against the defendant, there is no reason to doubt that he was at the TV station at the time of the incident. Yes, the facts prove it was impossible for the witness to have been involved with this crime. Ugh. These last rites for the victim have dragged on long enough. The soul of the victim himself is so bored that it is resting on top of your Honor's head. Oh, it is? The time has come. Let us punish the sinner and guide the victim's soul to the Twilight Realm. Apollo! Trucy will be thrown in prison and won't be out of a job. But if you can catch tasty fishies, will you sell me some at a good price? I told you I have absolutely zero intention of going off on a tuna boat. Think, Justice. You have to figure this out. It's no use. I can't find a single flaw. So what now? I don't know. We'll figure that out in the next video because we are definitely over time now. So I'll see you guys then.